going to go ahead and get started. So I'm going to be teaching spinners today, something fun. And so this is also an action model, something you play with. So go ahead, we're going to go ahead and get started. Let me show you what these are. I'm going to change cameras. The classic spinner. This is a variation, a flower edition. And then this is the one that is with my chaos unit as the base. So they're all a little bit different, a lot of fun. It does, if you want to use double-sided paper, that's great. The only part where it's going to show both sides is this outer ring here. This one, the center one, these have two, and these have two, and that would only show one side of the paper. So we're going to first start with the classic spinner, which is this guy here. And so you want 3 sheets of paper. So we're going to start with the outer ring. And so that one, if you have a double-sided paper, great. If you have classic origami paper, no problem. You're just going to get white on some of the accents there. Okay, great. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So go ahead and grab, let's see, we're going to work with 3 sheets of paper, but the first one, if you have a double-sided one, go ahead and use that, because that's what's going to be this outer ring here. Okay, so let me move these guys over here. And what I want you to do is, so the part that has these points here and the outer one here, that should be face down. So I'm going to have blue as my accent, which is again the back side and then these 4 corners here. Okay, so go ahead and choose that. And then the red is going to be my blue on my model here, these blue points here. So the face down is going to be the outer, excuse me, the outer and these corners here. And then my red is going to be where these blue points are here. If you have pattern, great. If you want to do pattern as the accent, great. Or if you want to do pattern for around here and this point, go ahead and have that, whatever you want on those, go ahead and have that face down. Okay. We're going to go ahead and fold it into a rectangle. So we're going to do some pre-creasing here. These first 2 pre-creases are really important that you make it very firm. So after you make your crease, go ahead and get your folding tool and go ahead and give that a good, nice, sharp crease. This is going to be this point here at the bottom that's going to cause it to spin. That's why you want this to be really, really crisp. Okay. So go ahead, unfold it. Let's rotate and fold the other rectangle. And then we're going to use our creasing tool here. Nice and crisp. That's really important for this. Okay. And then go ahead and unfold it. Okay. And so now we're going to do a cupboard fold. And basically you want to take the 2 opposite edges and bring them to the center. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and do that. And it's helpful to use your outer edge to make sure that you're square and lined up. Okay, and go ahead and do the other flap and bring that to the center. You want to unfold, rotate, and let's do the other 2 panels. Okay. Okay. And go ahead and use your creasing tool on those 2 folds and then unfold. Okay. So now what we want to do is turn the model over. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and take this and turn it over. So we're turning it over. This is the underside of the model. And what we want to do is bring the 4 corners to the middle. Okay. And when you do this, this is called the Blintz Fold. What I do is instead of folding one and then going to the next one, do 2 opposite ones first. That seems to get you pretty centered and eliminates, you know, any inaccuracies. So you'll find if you do this technique, the 4 points end up really lining up perfectly in the center. I hope you find that as well. Kind of get mine all lined up here. Creasing tool. Use your creasing tool on that. So now that you have that, let's unfold those four corners and let's turn the model back over. Okay, so turn it back over. So now you're looking at the, well, this side, that's the back side. This is the inside. Okay. And so what we're going to do is make 4 preliminary bases. The way you do that is you bring, let's bring one edge forward. You can kind of watch this first. Bring that forward. Bring the one to the right forward. And then you see this here? You just go ahead and squash fold that. It should all fall into place because you made those pre-creases. So you're going to squash that. Okay. Now you continue. Let's rotate. So I'm going to rotate the model. Now we're going to take this flap, bring that in, and then squash this into your preliminary base. Let's rotate it again. And let's do the final one. The final one's going to produce 2 preliminary bases. So go ahead and push in from the middle like this. And then go ahead and squash those into place. All the folds should be in there and it should just automatically fall right into that. Okay. That was fun. I like that when it goes, ooh. Okay. And so now we're going to do half of crane bases all on this side. And we want to do some pre-creasing for that. So from the center, let's take this square here. We're going to take this edge here, this flap, and we're going to fold it into the center. Oh, I realize there's no pre-crease there. Okay, let's make a pre-crease. Let's take one of these, take this flap, let's fold it in half and then unfold it. Let's get our pre-crease here first. Okay, I'm going to move the camera in a little closer. Okay, so what we've done is we fold this in half so that we can create the center pre-crease. Now we're going to take this flap and we're going to bring it up to meet that. Grab this here. And then the same for this opposite side. So we're going to make that kite shape, or what I've referred to as an ice cream cone. Okay. And then see this triangle? You're going to take the triangle and fold it down. We're putting ice cream on the ice cream cone. That's my favorite imagery there. So it should look like this. Then you unfold that flap and unfold these other two. So basically you're eating the ice cream and you're eating the cone, right? Now you're set up for the petal fold. So you want to take this flap. Sorry, I tore the corner there. Didn't mean to do that. You're going to lift up the flap. You want to lift it up from the center here. So you're going to lift this up, leaving this part flat. This is a hinge. You see how that works? Okay. So you're going to pull that open. And then what happens is the sides start to come in like this. So go ahead and put that in place. So start from the middle. You want to follow the pre-crease that you've made from the previous step all the way up till it comes to a point. And then the other side comes in also. So it should look like this. We want to repeat that for the other three. So let's go ahead and rotate. And again, you want to find that middle point. So take this flap and you're just going to fold it over and unfold so that we have our pre-crease there. Okay. Take this edge, bring it to the center. Take this edge and bring that to the center. Here's your second ice cream cone. Take your triangle and fold that down. And then we're going to unfold that, unfold these two flaps, and repeat. You're going to lift up this layer of paper. You're going to stretch the paper out as far as it'll go, and then bring the sides in and just follow along those pre-creases that you've made, coming to a point out here. Okay. And we're going to rotate and repeat. Take your flap. You're going to fold it in half first. Unfold it. Make an ice cream cone. So you're going to take this edge, bring it up to that center crease. Bring the other one up to the center crease. Fold the triangle down. Unfold, unfold. Lift the flap of paper up. You want to make sure you leave that triangle flat, right? There's a hinge. So you just pop it open, pull it open like that. The sides start to come in, then just go ahead and coax the paper in place, following along your pre-creases. And then rotate, and we'll go do the final one. So remember, you want to go ahead and take that and fold it in half. So swing it over to one side, crease it, and unfold so that you have your pre-crease. Take your outer edge, bring it to the center. Take this outer edge, bring it to the center. Take the triangle, fold that down. Unfold the ice cream, unfold the cone, stretch the paper out. Bring the sides in. Let's get. So it should look like this, minus the tear. Okay, so now to finish this off, what we want to do is, if you look from the center, you see there's 4 points that join at the center. So let's go ahead and take one of them, and then you want to fold it up, and there's it'll stop right here, which is the, at the base of the wing. So the flap folds up from these 2 points here. You'll find it. It only goes so far. So you fold it up so it's like that. Okay. And let's use your creasing tool. Let's rotate and open up the other remaining 3 flaps. Okay. Use your creasing tool. Take this one. And then do the same for the other 3. So I'm going to rotate. Open that up. Open these up. Let's use the creasing tool. So now that we have this, let's take the 4 points, and we're just going to fold them down. Like that. Okay. And so then it'll look like this. And what you want to do is make sure that you get your bone folder and make sure that this part is flat. Okay. Just make sure that those kind of close and it's nice and flat. So this is the base of the spinner. So now it's really, really cool. So then go ahead and grab another sheet of paper. We're going to do the second stage, which is this pink panel here. Okay. So both the pink, both the center and this one is exactly the same fold, except there's one difference in direction. So super easy. So the color side that you want face down. So I want my tier, this one, to be yellow. Okay. So that color, whatever you want, face down. Okay. So let's fold it into a rectangle. unfold it, rotate, fold the other rectangle. So we want to get a midpoint on that. And then unfold. So, okay, so now that you have this, you have your midway point. We're going to do the 4 corners to the middle. Okay, 4 corners. And remember, like I said, do 2 opposite ones first. That'll give you a higher rate of success and accuracy. And then the following 2. You're going to love this because all we're doing is 4 corners to the middle 3 times. Okay. So now that we have it on this side, we're going to take it and turn it over. So if you have that, turn it over. This is really important for this. Turn it over. Now bring these 4 corners to the middle. Okay. And remember, 2 opposites first. And then the final 2. And then go ahead and use your creasing tool on this. Okay, so now that we have this, guess what we get to do? Turn it over and do those 4 corners to the middle. Okay. So remember, 2 opposites first. That'll really help you. Okay. So to review, we found the midpoint, did 4 corners to the middle, turned it over, 4 corners to the middle, turned it over again, and 4 corners to the middle. That's all we need to know for this model. Make sure that you do for the after the final step is to use your bone folder. Make sure it's nice and flat. Okay. And then now we have one more step. You want to turn it over. Okay, so we're going to turn it over. And now you're looking at the side that has these flaps here. So you want to take these 4 corners and fold it out like that. Okay, so taking that point and folding it out till it meets the corner. Let me see if I get mine accurate here. All the way out. And then use your creasing tool. I hope you can see that. Let's see. So it should look like this. You've got 2 points on every corner. Okay. So now that you have this, go ahead and get your first model here. And if you look here, between these points that are coming to the center, there's a pocket here. You see this pocket? Take your model. Now make sure that it's face up here where you have this, it looks like this, okay? Not this, that's the wrong side. You wanna make sure that it's this side, which is what we just worked on. And you see this bottom corner here, not this top one, but the bottom corner, those corners slip into the pockets. So watch this before you do it. So I'm gonna take this point and you're just gonna make sure that these are flat. And you're gonna slip it in. You see how that goes? Just like that. Okay. Then you could rotate and slip that point in. You might have to swing the model out a little bit and then slide it in that way. And then when you get to towards the last 2, you might have to like bend this back a little bit and then slip it into the pocket like that. And then the final one should slip right in. Okay, if you notice, the bottom kind of puffs out a little bit. And that's because when you put this in here, it stretches the paper up, creating a slight bulb on the bottom. And you know, you're going to start being able to spin it, but we have to put the spinner part in first to make it really successful. So now grab another sheet. I'm going to make this one my center spinner green. Okay. So let's put that, whatever color you want to be in the middle spinner, have that face down. And let's go ahead and make our middle point by making 2 rectangles. Move that over a little bit. Open that up. So the color that you want this part to be is face down, right? So you actually see it when you fold it in half this way. So you unfold it, rotate, and fold it in half. And unfold. Now 4 corners to the middle. 4 corners to the middle. So remember 2 opposites first. And then the other 2. Okay. So now that you have that, you're not turning it over. We're going to stay on this side and do 4 corners to the middle again. Okay. Same side. We didn't turn it over. Try to do the 2 opposites first. Okay. 4 corners to the middle. Let's use our creasing tool. We're going to do it one more time on the same side. You're not going to turn it over. So go ahead and do 4 corners to the middle again. So that's 3 times, right? 3 times on the same side. Do the 2 opposites. Now you got a lot of layers of paper in here. So put those folds in place and then use your creasing tool. Okay. Let's see. Okay. So now you have this. Now we're going to turn it over. Okay. So let's turn it over so that all the loose corners are face down and it should be smooth on this side, right? What we want to do is fold 2 rectangles. So you want to do a rectangle, grab the edge and fold it over. A lot of layers of paper. Use your creasing tool. Unfold it and rotate and fold the other rectangle. We're putting in some pre-creases here. Use your creasing tool. Unfold it. Okay. And so now we don't need to do the next fold because we can just pinch this in place. What we're going to do is we're going to create a balloon base from this. So you've put those creases in place. And if you pinch the corners, you see how I'm pinching? Pinch these 2 corners and then pinch these 2 corners and it'll collapse into this star shape like that. And then now we get to put it into the spinner. If you look, you see the pockets are underneath the triangles right here in the middle of the triangle. So go ahead and slip 1 point in, slip the next one in. For the last 2, you might have to just pull this back a little bit, slip that in, and get all 4 of the points underneath those flaps like that, and spin away. Let's go to the next one. And so the color I want on the predominant part of this model, so the model is pink, which makes these pink points coming in. So I want that to be yellow. So I'm choosing whatever color you want that to be. Go ahead and have that face down. Okay. So the majority color, have that face down. Okay. My paper here is red and yellow. So I want yellow to be my predominant color. So that's face down. So we're going to go ahead and make our rectangles. And these, remember I was saying the creases are really important. So after you make this crease, take your creasing tool and make sure it's nice and flat and crisp. Unfold it, rotate, and fold the other rectangle. You know, you fold it first and then you use your creasing tool. That's the trick with using that. Okay, nice and flat. Okay, open it up. the two opposite flaps to the center. Keeping mindful of your outer edges to make sure you're nice and square. Let's see, we're going to rotate, fold the other flap. Use your creasing tool. Unfold, rotate, and do the other two panels. So bring those to the center. We're getting set up for the 4 preliminary bases. Use your creasing tool. And then unfold. Okay, now we're going to take this and turn it over. So flip it over to the back side. Now you're going to bring these 4 corners to the middle. Okay, so remember I was suggesting your two opposites first. And then the remaining 2. And use your creasing tool. Okay, these are pre-creases. So after you have that, we're unfolding those 4 flaps. And then turn the whole thing over. Okay. Let's see. Now what we're going to do is start collapsing into our preliminary bases. So let's start from the bottom edge. You see this point here. Bring this in, hold it down. And then the one on the right here, bring that in. And you see how this pops out? So you're just going to go ahead and squash that into a square. That's your preliminary base. So that folds should all be in place. So it should just fall right into that. Okay, you're just squashing that in. So you're going to rotate, bring the next flap in like this, and squash your square like that. Rotate the final one, push it in from the middle. Now you've got 2 squares that you want to squash. Let's do one here and then one here. And go ahead and let's use our creasing tool to flatten this out. Okay. So now we're going to do our ice cream cones because we're going to set up for the petal fold. And so you want to take this outer edge here. And actually, you're going to take the point. We have to fold it in half. So just take it and swing it over to the left and just fold it in half because we want to get that halfway point here. Now we're going to take this edge, bring it to the center. Now take this edge, bring that to the center. Ice cream cone. Take the triangle and fold that down. So you're going to put the ice cream on the ice cream cone. You eat the ice cream, eat the cone. So unfold those 3 flaps. Peel off the top layer of paper and stretch it out, leaving this triangle flat here. Stretch the paper out as far as it'll go. And then the sides come in and just go ahead and coax the paper into place. Do one side at a time. It makes it easier. And start from the bottom and work your way up. And it should fall right into place, just like that. Okay, so let's rotate and repeat. Take the triangle. We want to fold it in half first. So swing it over to the other side and bring it back. Take this edge, bring it to the center. We're going to make another ice cream cone. Take this edge, bring that to the center. Fold the ice cream down onto the cone. eat the second ice cream and eat the second cone. Unfold those 3 flaps. Peel open the top layer, stretch it out as far as it'll go, and bring the sides in, starting from the center and following your pre-creases. Okay. Rotate, repeat, take your flap, fold it over to the other side, unfold, fold your ice cream cone, both sides, fold the ice cream down onto the cone. Now I want ice cream. Unfold that, unfold the 2 flaps, and lift the top panel up. Make sure you leave that ice cream down flat. Stretch the paper out and bring the sides in, starting from the center and working out to the corner. I think you guys got it. So take, again, for the last one, make sure you fold it in half first so you have your halfway point. Unfold that. Fold your ice cream cone. Okay, so lift up the flap. Stretch this out. This is the same way I teach how to do the crane. So when I'm teaching kids and I use the ice cream thing, the teachers aren't too happy with because they're all like, I want ice cream now. Okay, so now that we have this, and it's the same thing that we did with the previous one, you want to take your points here and open it up as far as it'll go and fold like that. Rotate, pull that open. Rotate, pull that open. Rotate, pull that open. And then fold your outer points to the center, like this. And then use your creasing tool to make sure that that's nice and flat. All right. So now go ahead and get another sheet of paper, and we're going to do the center spinner part here. Okay. So I'm going to use a green. Maybe I'll use blue. I think I'll use blue. I'm going to use blue. Okay, so we're going to have to make another ice cream cone, and we're going to create a crane base on this one. It's really kind of a cool model. Okay, so let's see. You want the color that you want the model. Let's have that face up first. Okay, face up. So we want to go ahead and fold both triangles. Here's one triangle. Unfold, rotate, fold the other triangle. So again, my color spinner is on the inside here, right? And unfold. Now you want to turn the model over and fold both rectangles. So let's fold the first one here. Unfold, rotate, fold the other rectangle. Keep it folded in this shape, okay? Keep this folded. You're going to grab the folded edge and bring your hands together, bringing the 4 points together. You see how that works? And then go ahead and nudge the 2 flaps and 2 flaps. You want to split them. So now you have your preliminary base. So it looks like this at the bottom. So have it so that the open end is facing you. We're going to make a nice ice cream cone on this side. So here's our halfway point. This bottom edge comes to the center. This bottom edge comes to the center. And then the ice cream goes onto the cone. And unfold, eat the ice cream, eat the cone. And we're going to do the same thing that we did for the base. Stretch the paper out. It's important to keep this part flat. Okay, here's your hinge. So you're going to open the layer of paper, stretch it out as far as it'll go. Starting from the bottom, work your paper in along those pre-creases. And it'll be, and I have a paper that's split on the end. So it should go like that, just like what we did for the base. And now we're going to repeat. Let's turn it over to the other side. Take this bottom edge, bring that to the center, make another ice cream cone. Bring the other one up to the center. And then make sure you fold the ice cream down. So we got the ice cream down like that. Unfold that. Unfold the cone. Stretch the paper out, leaving this top ice cream flat and using that as a hinge. Stretch the paper out as far as it'll go and bring the sides in. You might have to, like in this corner here, sometimes you have to push the paper open. It tends to get a little wrinkled in there. So just kind of pop it open like that and then continue with your fold. Yeah. Here's your crane base. Now, go ahead and take the flap and you want to, this one on the right, and let's swing it over to the other side. And now we're going to take this flap here and fold it up to the top. Okay. Let's turn the model over. We're turning the model over. So it should look like this. We're going to repeat that. So take the flap. Now there's 2 layers here. So just split it off and just take the top layer only. Take the top layer and swing it over. So it looks like this. And now take this point and bring it all the way to the top. So we have the 4 points to the top. So it looks like this, right? Okay. What we're going to do, let's go ahead and lay it flat for a second here. Let's peel open this one on just one of them. Okay, so for example, this one, I'm pulling down like this. What you want to do is from here, you see this point here? Let's go ahead and just bring it over so that this point lines up with this flap here. I'm going to turn it up on the side. Okay, so again, we've taken this, we've unfolded it, and this point here, or this flap, you want to bring it so that this point lines up with this here, like that. So you see how that point lines up with this fold here. Okay. Now let's rotate. So we have this tucked in like this, and we want to repeat that. So you want to open up this next layer here, and this point here comes back to the left. This point is going to line up with this center crease. So this is going to be a mountain fold here. So you see how that gets pushed in? And then you make your crease here. And then you take this and you fold it down. So see, now we have that. Okay. I'm going to rotate. So the trick here is actually this turns into be a mountain fold. So this whole thing gets pushed in, and that point lines up with this center here. So then this final one, again, this turns into a mountain fold. So you bring that over. Okay, so that should be your twist. Yes, okay, that looks good. So we have tucked the corners underneath, basically. So that's your twist. And then now we want to take these points and make them disappear. So let's turn the model over. And you're going to take these points and you want to fold them. You see where this edge is here? You're going to fold them in. Fold this one in at an angle like that. So that, again, it's going to match this section here, this line here. So it's going to go from this outer corner along there. So it looks like this. We're going to rotate, take the next one. That's going to fold over. And then that should line up. That should line up with this over here. Fold that. Let's rotate. This one's going to line up with that fold. And then the final one should line up with this fold here. So you're just overlaying them. And then you take the last point and then you're going to tuck it into the pocket that's here. Okay. So it should tuck in like that. So now you've got your spiral spinner. Go ahead and grab your, which one did I use? I use this one here. So you've got your four corners, and that's going to slip right into these pockets here. Okay. And there is your spiral spinner, my variation on the classic spinner.